As God is my witness, I thought turkeys could fly. Here we are, folks. It is the pre-Thanksgiving Day edition of the Mighty Prime Time King. With your mighty 24/7 media, ever mysterious Vigilante Williamson, of course, yours truly, your humble announcer and co-host, Baron Ormantag. So as you're basting that turkey, getting those mashed potatoes mashed, sit back and enjoy the Primetime King. It's Turkey Day 2 edition.
Hey, what's up? It's your boy 24/7 here with my man Baron Ormantag, and hopefully we'll be joined soon by Vigilante Williamson. And we are the Primetime Kings. Hopefully everyone is doing well. How you doing today, Baron?
I'm doing absolutely fantastic. Thank you kindly. It's been fun last couple of days. I have to sit back and say that. You know.
That's good. I'm glad to hear that, man. I'm glad to hear that. I'd like to say what's up to everybody in the chat. Lord Dolph was here a little earlier. Hopefully he's still here, saying what's up to everybody, saying hello. All right, here we go. Yeah. Then we got Keely Chow in the house. How's it going, Keely Chow? Our very own Baron Ormantag, Snarf, in the house.
Snarf.
There you go. There you go. Lord Thought says, in a comic auction, so may be slow but hell. Oh, I feel you, man. Oh, he's at a comic book auction. Oh, I feel you. Shit, man. Win something for me. Yeah, man. My birthday.
Home with that Action Comic #1. He's gonna come home with that.
There you go. There you go. Yeah, man. My birthday's next week, man. So y'all can hook your boy up. Yeah, I'm serious. Yeah. Shit. So yeah, man, my birthday is in 3 days. So
29 years old.
There you go. There you go. Dallas Wolfen in the house. What's going on, brother? Shit. Sox Bulletin. What's going on, Sox, my man? Shit. A lot of great people here, man. Thank y'all for being here. Faces, how's it going? Oh, shit. Great to have you here. Shit, miss having you here, brother. Thank you. Here's your host, 24/7. Yeah, man. Thank you. Lovely Sherry, how's it going? Man, we got to look at that, boy. All these wonderful people. Happy birthday. Yeah, thank you, man. It'll be in the next few days, man. Happy early birthday. Yeah, thank you, man. Thank you. I appreciate that shit, man. Happy 3-day early birthday. Oh, man. Come on, Robert, man. It's all good, man. I appreciate you, man. Thank you, man. Shit. I mean, Robert, if you want to really wish me give me something good for my birthday, man. You know, you're a master craftsman over there where you at. You know, I would definitely love one of them lightsabers, man. But I understand, man. I understand. Oh, man. So just throwing it out there, man. But thank y'all, man. I appreciate that, man. Yo, you guys are awesome, man. Cheers to y'all, man. Love y'all, man. Thank y'all. Holy shit. Oh, shit. Just took a shot. Yeah, man. Trying to celebrate and shit. So, hopefully everybody's doing good, man. I got some news I wanted to share with everybody, man. Want to let y'all know that I got someone, a company came to me, man, and wanted to actually sponsor the channel, man. And it's a company that I've seen before, man. They reached out to me and asked if I wanted to become an affiliate. And you know what, man? For all the hard work, bullshit, and everything else that I've been through, man, trying to keep this channel going. At times I feel like giving up, all kinds of shit, man. It's times like these, when something like this happens, that you can actually come to appreciate the fruits of your labor, man. Putting in, made over 900 videos. Fuck, man, the hours that I put fucking trying to do this shit with live streams and everything else. And for someone to say, hey, you know what? Been checking out your channel. We like what you're doing. We would like to come work with you. Check this out. Let us know if you're interested. Hit us back. And, we can make it happen. And I thought about it. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and do it. So, reached out to him. And, yeah, man. So hopefully within the next week or two, if I start doing, you start checking out videos, and shout out to the sponsor of the video and go into a commercial, drop a promo code and the whole shit. You already know what time it is, man. But, it's the first of many.
Promo code 24/7 in there.
Yeah, you know it, man. And shit, it's the first of many, man. And, it's good to be acknowledged, man. And I'll let you know more about it once I hear back from them. I've accepted the offer Friday, so of course probably like Monday, Tuesday I'll hear back from them, and then from there, we'll take it. Then we'll take it from there, man. But they offered, and I've accepted. We've been going back and forth, and yeah, man, I'm definitely gonna do it, man. And it has everything to do with what I do on the channel, man. It's pop culture related, the whole shit. So, it was a good fit, and you guys will see more. But yeah, man, until the deal is finalized, it's when I'm just, but just let you know, yeah, man, there's been some dealings going on in the background, man, and it's good, man. It feels good, man. It's
I'm letting the cat out of the bag. It's for Spatula City. Spatula City.
Yeah, get your hot pop culture spatulas and shit. You know what I'm saying? Faces, wild guy. I love to, but I ain't got no address for you, my brother. You know what, Robert? I'll definitely.
You haven't given me your address yet, man.
Yeah, I'll
earlier.
Yeah. I'll definitely shoot you. Yeah, Robert, I'll shoot you mine. Thank you, man. I'll definitely shoot you my address, man. Thank you, man. So, damn, congratulations from Keely Chow. Thank you, brother. Thank you, man. What's up, Zax? Appreciate that, Dallas Wolfen. Thank you to Love You, Sherry. Thank y'all. Good to have you here, Zax. Yeah, man. Yeah, well deserved, bro. Thank you, man. It's funny, man. I was talking to Stone Loki, man. That's my brother right there, man. He's a great guy, man. When the offer was first proposed to me, and I hit him up and was like, "Yo, man, what you think, man?" And I told him I was going to go for it, but still, always want to know, what your brothers think, man, on some things, man. And he said, you know what? He said, man, there's people out there that have thousands of subscribers, man. And he said, how many of them actually get approached to with a sponsorship, man? He said, not that they would actually need it. Of course, they're smart and, they're doing what they need to in order to make, money on their own through the channel. But, how many people actually get approached with, folks trying to work with them, man? He said, man, he said, not many, man. So, he said, it's cool, man. And I was like, yeah, thank you, man. So, I appreciate that, man. It's like shit. It's like I say, man, it's a good moment, man. I'm thankful, man. So, just wanted to at 105. Zach says, I have 105. Oh, that's what Lord Thoth says. Zach says 0 videos. Right, Lord Thoth. You guys are tripping, man. You guys are funny, man. Do it now, so I'll send something your way. I'll do that, man. Thank you, man. I appreciate that, man. Robert Pearson in the house, man. Thank you, man. Appreciate that, man. Thank you, man. Yeah. Other than that, man, hopefully everyone's doing well, man. It's been an interesting week. A lot of different things are going on. Shit, man. A lot of people feel kind of bummed out, man. Lost a few people within the last week or so, man. Kevin Conroy was a bummer for a lot of us. Hell, we lost Gallagher, lost, other folks. Then today, Buzz kind of hit last night, but it was actually confirmed, today that, our beloved Green Power Ranger passed. And, people didn't understand what was going on. Some folks were saying that they thought it was, health issues or some shit. But come to find out, it wasn't that simple, man. It's a lot more. Yeah, it's a lot more. It's worse than that, man.
Well, in many ways, it is a health issue. Unfortunately, it's a mental one. It's a sad thing. How that can just grab people and throw them in such despair. Even with all the people sending love, and there's a lot of people that obviously loved him because of what he was. They grew up with him. He was their hero. Something just gets in there and screams louder, and it's a sad thing. It always is. It's just you sit back and ask why. I mean, 49 years old, younger than me, man. It's still young, in my opinion. And he looks like he was in good shape. I mean, knowing all those, working out, all that. It just, I was never a big Power Rangers fan,
Right.
but that doesn't mean anything. It means that millions out there were fans of the show and love these characters. And the people and the actors that played it. Now this is the second one. The first one, of course, died in a tragic accident, and now, this is just as tragic of a death here. And I don't normally use TMZ because I absolutely abhor them, but that was one of the news sources that came up that someone linked to. So,
yeah, that's someone being me. So yeah.
Well, this one, I think I got this one from somebody else. I got the other one from you.
Okay, all right. I thought mine was a TMZ, but yeah, all right.
Yeah, maybe, I don't know. But Power Rangers, Jason David Frank, dead by suicide at age 49. I know a lot of people in the Twitterverse and on the streams already have been talking about it. But again, this is something that touches close to home for so many people that, obviously, is worth talking about and bringing forward on here. And, what a handsome lad that he, even take a look how he, when he's older and all that, it's like, wow, he looked great. Right. And of course, this is an update from 10:07 Pacific time today. Walter Jones, who played the Black Ranger on Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, tells TMZ he was an inspiration to so many people. His presence will be dearly missed. It's so sad to lose another member of our Ranger family. He adds, Jason was one of the biggest pranksters on the show. He had a wild sense of humor. We had our shares of ups and downs, but I stayed consistent about being an ear if he needed one. My prayers go out to his family and all that will miss him. And this looks like it's the story right here. Jason David Frank, one of the original Power Rangers, has died, TMZ has learned. The actor and mixed martial arts artist died in Texas, according to his rep, Justine Hunt. Sources with direct knowledge tells us his death was the result of suicide. He is best known as Tommy Oliver from the original run of the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers franchise, dating back to the kids series debut in 1993. So that was, well, we're looking at about 30 years ago coming up.
Yeah, 93. Yeah, actually, 29. Yeah, next year would have been their 30th anniversary, man.
Yeah. When he was introduced as one of the 6 crime monster fighting superheroes masked head to toe with kung fu skills. Fans will remember he started out as the Green Ranger in season 1, introduced at first as an enemy of the Power Rangers, only to do a 180-degree and turn and become good. After his powers start to deteriorate, however, he's turned into the White Ranger and tapped as the new leader of the group. Frank starred as one of the leads for 3 seasons, totaling 123 episodes. That's a lot of episodes for 3 seasons. Frank went on to reprise his role as Tommy in several adaptations of Power Rangers, including Wild Force, Turbo, Zeo, Dino Thunder, Megaforce, Ninja Steel, Hyper Force, and more. He's been a Red Ranger, a Black Ranger, and a Green Ranger anew. JDF is a fan favorite Power Ranger, which is why he's returned to the franchise time and time again. His on-screen fighting abilities translated into the real world. Frank was professionally trained MMA brawler who was well versed in everything from Taekwondo, Muay Thai, I hope I said that right, Judo, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and others. He fought professionally for a time from 2008 to 2010. He's survived by his 4 children. Wow, 4 children. Justin's rep, Justine, tells TMZ, please respect the privacy of his family and friends during this horrible time as we come to terms with the loss of such a wonderful human being. He loved his family, friends, and fans very much. He will truly be missed. Frank was 49, R.I.P. And of course, if you know someone who's thinking of suicide, please call the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline at 988. And this was originally published at 8:57 a.m. Pacific time. I believe that's today. So, and there's no byline, so I didn't get who the byline was. Right. I normally like to do that because they do it. And actually, that's a pretty good piece by TMZ. Like I said, I don't like them, but they did a pretty good job on that one.
Right. Like say, Helder's Bone, what's going on, brother? And Colonizer Jeeves. Yo, Colonizer Jeeves is a shit, man. He's a good dude. Great to have him here, man.
Hey, where's our favorite? Where's the Buzz boy?
Yeah, well, 24/7 stole my shirt. Oh. You know
that's
how it
because
is,
he wants to flash all of us. Look at him. He's flashing all of us, and we're going to get canceled now because 24 is flashing us.
Oh, come on, man. Yo. Let me see. Yeah, I'm glad I was able to put on a good shirt, man, and stop the sex bots. So yeah, that is sad, Bone, that we lost him. Like the lovely Sherry was saying, he dealing the divorce. He had a stepdaughter that ended herself also last year. So
that's hard.
He had a lot of shit, man. And like folks say, it's not a decision that you make overnight, man. It's when a lot of pressing things are bothering you over a period of time. And folks never realize, man, how much people really love him, man. And yeah, man, it's a tough one, man. I just I hate that it went down like that, man. I'd like to give a shout out to the old man. What's going on, brother?
Yeah, there he is.
Yeah,
By the
man.
time he got here.
There you go. Colonizer Jesus. Colonizer Jeeves, man. He said, that's my man right there. Yeah, he's a good dude.
We have the best professional trolls out there, I tell you.
Nah. Colonizer Jeeves is he's a good
I know.
dude. And as a matter of fact,
I say that with tongue in cheek.
hey, but you know what? He has great taste in music, man. I tell you what, man, he knows some good shit, man. He's such dude. I'm a fan of his, man, for the music he picks, man, on Mead Radio, man. This guy here, man, he picks the best songs, man. So yeah, keep that shit up, brother. You don't think nobody's you know, he gives a lot of shout outs to Sherry, man. He does some good shit, man. He knows his music, man. He's on top of his shit, man. I definitely learned a lot. I learned a lot of new good music, man, you know, by hearing his requests, man. So yeah, he has some good taste, man. Been wanting to tell him that for a hot minute.
I love Mead Radio. I usually have to catch it on the backside because I missed the live stream, but it's like, you know, just put it on. It's like, wow, this is how radio should be, man. Even though he does put stuff on you couldn't get over with the FCC, but but it's still, you know, even when, you know, that was helping me get through when I was kind of really down. I just put that on there, and it was good mental therapy. I had to make sure Tom Connors knew that hey, you know. He before he jumped off of the one show, I said, "Hey, before you go, I just want to let you know, thank you for that. It really is good mental health."
Yeah, for real, man. Das Wolfman said he got to meet Jason a couple of times. He said he was a nice guy. Always had times for the fans. Yeah, man. It's always been talks, man. Ever since Power Rangers brought him on, that he always made time for the fans, man, and people loved him, man. Kids looked up to him to the point where even going into adulthood, he was always an upstanding guy, man. And you know, hopefully he knows now, man, that you know, people always miss the man, and folks will never forget him, man. So
yeah.
And Das Wolfman said 24/7 made it. And now the bots are showing up. Yeah.
That's because he's got that deep voice, kind of like Isaac Hayes and all that. You know, going out there, ladies, you know, come on by here. I got the fireplace going and some good champagne here, and we'll just sit down here. And I want to make love to you, woman.
Nah, I hear you. Shit, Sentient Dildo. I don't know where Sentient's at, man. Hopefully he'll come around, man.
I think his batteries wore out. That's the trouble.
No shit. There you go. Hopefully he's doing all right though. What's up, man? Everybody saying what's up to each other. All right. And doing what I do. What else is doing what I do? I've seen this several dozen times. Yeah, man. I feel you on that, brother. Yeah, man. There we go. Plus family and friends also done this tragic. Yeah, man. I'm in the same boat, man. With family and shit, man. What do you say, right? You gotta wait from Flipper's site to come here. Oh, Flipper. Oh, you talking about the dolphin?
Oh.
Shit. Yeah, that was yeah. He enjoyed it back then, man. You know, that was. You know, Flipper back then, that was his thing. Oh yeah. Colonizer Jeeves says, thanks guys. Yeah, man. All right, Vigilante said he'll be on in a second. That's what's up.
He's still recovering from Wakanda.
Yeah, I know, man. Colonizer Jeeves says, thanks guys. Yeah, man. Great taste in music, brother.
Yeah.
For real, man.
It's like I said, you know, even though I catch you in the backside, it's always great to listen. Yeah, the suggestions that come up for songs. I love it too when Tom goes, I don't have that one.
There you go. All right. He said 24/7, excuse me, I'm gonna need a genre if you want something. All right. That's cool, man. I'll definitely get with you on that one. Thank you.
Playboys, penthouses, stuff like that. You never go wrong.
Nah, I mean, but yeah, I'll think about it, and I'll definitely hit you up on that tonight, man. The real shame is there's no one to step in and help them. Yeah.
Yeah.
The thing is, man, man, you just, that's the thing, man. If somebody would have known something or had any kind of indication, things would have been different, man. And it's never, very few times have someone's been able to step in and turn something around. But then, who's ever really there? I don't know, man.
The one thing that. Oh, sorry.
No, I was going to say it's hard. It's. I don't know. It's kind of hard to know what to do, man. If you don't know if you don't know what the fuck's going on, man. And sometimes people hide shit so well that there is no signs.
Yeah,
and then at the end it kind of leaves more questions than answers, man. Because someone that you love is gone, man, and you don't know why the fuck it happened. It's fucked up, man. Just being honest.
Mm-hmm. Well, the one, you go to the doctors and all that. And of course, the one question they ask you that really bothers the hell out of me. Not that they're asking the question, it's how. And it's like, have you had thoughts of harming yourself or hurting yourself? It's like, excuse me, quit pussyfooting around. When it comes to people who are really anguished like that, they look at suicide as not hurting yourself, it's ending the pain. They want to get rid of it. So when you're asking, you plan on hurting yourself, they can truly sit back and say no, because they're looking at the fact I'm ending it. I'm done. I'm finishing. The pain is gone, and they have to. You almost need to get out there and be just blunt force trauma on that. Are you thinking about killing yourself? Quit pussyfooting around.
Are you guys talking about Jason David Frank?
Yeah.
Which I apologies for not being on the show. I just woke up. I saw the rumor that he had passed yesterday. Mm-hmm. But when I went and started to follow him on Twitter, I'm like, man, there's nothing wrong with this Twitter. Must be one of those, how the internet is. Sometimes they make up somebody being dead. And then to see that, as you guys are saying, that he allegedly, you already said killed himself. I know it's a touchy subject for the YouTube algorithm. I hope
right.
But that's crazy. And then it's a week after Kevin Conroy passed. Mm-hmm. And it just feels like, oh man, they were on the same. I mean, this going back. If you weren't young in the 90s, you may not remember this, but literally, Power Rangers and the Batman animated series, they were on Fox. They were on the same block of TV. You would see. I can't remember the order, but then they had at one point it was VR Trooper, Beetleborgs.
I think if I'm not mistaken, I think you saw Batman first, and then
thought
Power
so too.
Rangers. Yeah,
and then you saw the other stuff, and then eventually Batman moved to WB to be with Superman when they switched up the dynamic. But the original 3 seasons, or I think they may count it as 2 seasons, depending on how you counted it, because it's different ways you could split up those seasons. But they were on Fox. They were on the Fox block after school. It was intended for kids who came home to school to watch the cartoons and the live action series. I think Goosebumps was a part of it. Had a bunch of stuff that moved in and out of those lineups. So, but that was one where they had Power Rangers and Batman. They might have even been back to back. And it's crazy for like that generation, which I do belong to have that back to back weeks. It's like, wow. I can't tell you how many hours. I'm not one of the guys that after, because there's people who still follow the Power Rangers to this day. People follow the comics. They to me, they're similar to the Turtles, where they have that cult fan base that follows everything and still loves it. And shout out to those fans and sorry to those fans on the day. But it's just very sad that, like, man, these are both key figures of a specific era of children who grew up with both of these shows and both of the work that these individuals did. And then in back-to-back weeks, they're gone. It's like very sad. And then extra sad when you hear the details. You're like, man, Jason David Frank had a lot of fans, man.
Oh, he
had a
did.
lot of fans. He had a lot of people who I remember. You know how we have this Jake Paul, and I'm sorry if I'm ranting. You guys can cut me off at any time.
No, you good, man.
No, you're great.
But I mean, a lot of people wanted him to be in this celebrity thing where you have these Jake Paul fights, and they because he is a real martial artist, so they said, they were trying to like make celebrity fight. Just the fans off the strength of anything, his fans wanted to see him do one of these like celebrity boxing, celebrity kickboxing style things. It was just like, man, I felt like you would look at it and see that he's kind of had a resurgence of fandom in the past few years. You know, a lot of those 90 kids are showing their current kids the Power Rangers. He's done recent seasons of the Power Rangers. As you would imagine, looking on I know this is a cliche statement, but looking on the outside end, you would think he's in a good place. I guess, you know, he, like I said, he was indeed a martial artist.
Yeah.
I don't know if, you know, head injuries were ever a thing, because that's also a thing that happens with a lot of people, either combat sports or not just boxing, football, hockey. You had a lot of individuals in both of those sports just due to the head injury situation. Unfortunately, I remember Junior Seau. I can't think of the hockey player.
Oh, yeah. I remember him.
Yeah. So there's a few guys. So I'm not sure if that was a role. I'm not, I'm just spitballing with that. But like I said, he was a legit martial artist. You spar, you can, a lot of guys who spar have so many like minor concussions they don't even know about, because they just, I just got rocked, went about their day. So I'm not sure if that played a role in his thinking and not being quite there. Because like I said, you would imagine of a lot of individuals in his kind of space of kind of being a former celebrity that still has a fan base. Not everyone was doing as good as he was. He had kind of an active fan base, and when he went to a convention, everyone cared. And it's just like, man, this is a very, very, very sad. So, I mean, prayers for his family, friends, and fans. I'm sure you guys have talked a lot about it. I'm just kind of running in and giving my thoughts. It's sad. It is sad because, like I said, the Green Ranger, the White Ranger, he was the coolest character in the original run of Power Rangers.
Man, especially when the other Ranger, I think it was the red one, was a douche.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, he lives in Texas. If I'm not mistaken, shit.
Yeah, he does. That's they're saying he passed in Texas. Jason David Frank. I'm not sure what part. And Doc Wolfen, CTE. CTE's had impacted a lot of people. Like I said, I talked about the football, but I can't. There's a lot of hockey players because of head injuries and CTE.
But the thing with Jason, man, is that he was, he didn't get his ass whooped like that, man. Especially not in the not in MMA. He was winning fights. He was kicking ass.
Yeah. Oh yeah. He had a pretty.
Yeah. There's a difference if he was a guy that was like a Mickey Rourke that was just fucking getting his ass beat to the point where he had to have fucking plastic surgery to fucking put his face back together after he got hit rocked. I mean,
all those guys are gonna have I get what you're saying. Like he wasn't a guy that took a ton of damage like that.
Yeah.
But I just tossed that out there because it don't take that many head injuries, man. You get rocked once or twice, you might be good, and it just because it happened later in life. Nobody thought something would happen with Junior Seau, and then it just happened. You know what I'm saying? He was leaving notes, check my brain, and all this other stuff. It was pretty sad. So he shot himself in the chest specifically so they could look at his head. That was like really messed up. So I mean,
yeah, because normally someone doesn't do that, not in the chest.
Yeah. Did he cheat on his wife? Did he have family issues? Was that the thing that was going on?
There's something going on there. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, man. It's crazy. He had his own YouTube channel, man.
I thought he did. Yeah.
Yeah, it was called JDFFF. Yeah, it was just like that, just a J, just in capital bold capital letters, JD, 2 or 3 Fs. And last time he posted, man, I subscribed to him. Like whenever he would do like shit with like Bat in the Sun or a bunch of other stuff that he would do with Power Rangers every time he came back. Or when he was doing his, you remember he I don't know if you guys knew this, but he was also doing like his own Power Rangers thing where if I'm not mistaken, the White Ranger went bad or whatever, man, and he called himself board some shit, but he was a badass. Like, oh my god, it was like he was a rogue Power Ranger, man, that was like killing all the other Power Rangers, bro. And he had all this shit on his channel. And
I'm looking at it. Legend of the White Dragon, was that it?
Yeah, and all that shit. Yeah, and dude, it was before the pandemic. He was actually doing a lot of this. So, man,
it looks like he was more active right before the pandemic.
Right. You know, and the pandemic slowed up a lot of people, man. Like I said, I'm subscribed, man, and you know, he stopped doing videos about 8 months ago, man. If I'm not mistaken, man.
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
Yeah, so about 8 months ago, his channel went to a complete halt, and nobody knew what the fuck was going on and then the thing is, come to find out today, man. After I looked into some shit, about 25 minutes before he did what he did to himself, he posted a video, man.
Yeah, I saw that, man.
Yeah, he posted a video, and it
looks like Brandon has it on his tweet.
It's kind of fucked up, man. So
you know what else is interesting? I noticed he has a handle. I don't know if this kind of inside baseball, but YouTube handles only came out a few weeks ago, right? The little you have a thing where they're trying to make YouTube a little more like a social media, where it's like at your channel name.
Right.
His is at, so he, you know, he was thinking about his channel enough over the past weeks to like go ahead and, you know, claim that. It takes only a second to do, but that means he was at least paying attention to his email, paying attention to his channel as of a couple weeks ago,
right?
For this to happen now, you know what I mean? So it's just I don't know.
Right.
Just think about people making future plans and doing things for the future and then doing that. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah, especially when you see that, you know, that if you'd have done that, you know, at least that little bit to his channel, at least he was looking at some shit.
Yeah.
To do with it, yeah. You know, I don't know, man. But shit. Anybody got any final thoughts on this, man? You, Baron?
No, nothing. No.
What about you?
I think pretty much everything's been said. I mean, what I would say.
And it's apparently looking at Twitter, because I was trying to look for the video. It's trending. It's a RIP legend, Jason David Frank. It's like, you know, and now we know Twitter's actually accurate with what's trending. So,
right.
Yeah.
Well, you know, my final thoughts is, man, he was the best of the Power Rangers. To be honest, the franchise ain't gonna be the same without him, bro. You know, I don't give a fuck. I mean, the thing is, he was original in, you know, in what he did, man, and he was real, you know, with what he was about. You know, he wasn't just a motherfucker trying to play a martial artist. He was a real life martial artist, even whooping ass in the octagon. Other than that, you know, he loved the fans, you know, and that's the shit that's gonna hurt the most, because you know, he gave a lot of people hope, man, and you know, for what he did with the Power Rangers, for that to be a show for kids. And for him to have like grown up with the kids of you know, of the generation, you know, that loved him and adored him the most, you know, he never did turn his back on the fans, man. And all the way to the end, you know, he was real about that, man. And that's the shit that we all loved about him, and that's the shit that we'll all miss about him the most, man. And is that he wasn't about none of this current Hollywood bullshit. You know, he was about the fans, man, and he respected them all the way to the end, bro. So yeah, man. So that's
sad, man. That's sad.
Man,
yeah, he's definitely in this era where we had so many anti-fan, you know, creators. We talked all about, you know, if you don't like us, don't buy our books or whatever. Don't like our politics, don't buy our books. Had all these people attacking fans. He was noted for being a very fan-friendly fan guy. And I mean, I don't care what anyone says. You talk about the modern fandom of the Power Rangers where there's still fans. I feel like he was one of the main reasons that you still had such an active fan base. He was the through line from, you know, when I was a kid to the current era of fans, and you know, any adults who stayed the whole way or teenagers who stayed, you know, of a younger iteration from the 2000s. He's the through line that kept everyone in that space. And so even if I don't keep up with the modern Power Rangers, but I knew about him and I knew that they existed because of him. So it's like, man, it's really, Really sad. Really sad.
Mhm.
And I know again we can go on and on. I know everything's been said, but it's just still pretty sad.
Mhm. Very much so.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, all right. Well, shit.
There's no
Well,
easy transition out of that, right? You
all
gotta
right.
just kind of like
Yeah. But I think
We can try.
you know, yeah,
Sure.
yeah. Well, you know, at least you know, we appreciate him, man, and shit. You know, we'll be thinking about him, bro. So it's all good, man, and you know, but yeah, man, we're gonna go ahead and move on to the next topic that you know would definitely be on the lighter side of things that I thought would be pretty interesting. You got it.
All ready to go? It's queued up,
Go.
man.
Is it you guys? All
All right. Well,
let's see what it is.
yeah. And before we go to the next, like to see what the chat had to say before we move on real quick.
Mm-hmm.
I hate how he let the kids down. Yeah, well, shit. Didn't one of them do it a bit of porno? I don't know. I think so.
The other
The Red Ranger, wasn't it?
Oh,
was
was
a
it
girl. No, it was a female.
the pink
No,
one?
the girl. Well, I know the Red Ranger was
Hey.
doing some crazy shit. I think he went to jail or some shit though.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
did some crazy shit. But
What's
the
her name?
pink one-
Amy Joe?
Yeah, I think she did a little.
Kimberly on the show? Oh man.
Yeah, little
Oh,
in and
wow.
out.
Oh man, that sucks. You don't want to think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
What's up, Low Spick Linux laptop, my man? What's going
Hello,
on, bro?
Spec.
Yup, the other Pearson brother right there. Yeah, man, Colonizer Jeeves. Yeah, he did Low Spec. Yeah, he was doing Legend of the White Dragon with Bat in the Sun. Yeah, that was some good shit.
Oh man, Bat in the Sun is good. I didn't know. I gotta
Yeah,
check that stuff out.
dude, y'all need to check that shit, man. If y'all didn't see it, dude, he was on some gangster shit on that one, dude. It was like, dog, it was like you were watching the Power Rangers,
Mhm.
but done by like somebody, you know, like done by a whole different person that respected the Power Rangers, but didn't do it in a goofy manner that you've known the Power Rangers to be. You know, for the kids, it was more adult,
More serious, more adult.
Yeah, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, that changed the game up, man. Like it was like a no bullshit, no nonsense Power Rangers, man. Without the funny shit. Like, oh, that shit was
Mhm.
gangster, man. It was cool. Y'all should check that shit out, man. If y'all never watched it, go check that shit out, man. Like Bat in the Sun, that's a damn good channel. If you're not subscribed,
Really
to
good channel.
it, that's a damn good channel,
They've been
man.
around
For
for
all
a
kinds
while,
of cool
too.
shit. Yeah, man. Actually, the owner of it, he's always posting different shit. Even though even if he's not, he's always working on something. But even when you don't see videos, he always updates the channel, let folks know what projects they're working on, so that way nobody don't think that they're on some kind of hiatus or some shit.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, the stuff they do is so high quality. It takes, it's like a real movie production. The shit they do, man. So it's gonna
To
take
be
some
honest,
time.
I don't see why none of the actors, or none of the like special effects people, or even some of the that team is just hired by Marvel or DC to just fucking do something, man. They just need the fucking money behind it.
I wish I've been wondering that for years, but I the more I found out about Hollywood, the more I could guess of why that is. They don't want to be showing up. They don't want to hire their replacements. You think all these goofy, and then a lot of these effects houses that do these effects have homeboy discounts or homeboy hookups with the execs.
Mhm.
So they're not gonna outsource it to guys like this. Unfortunately, maybe they can
No.
get a job at one of those houses as individuals, but having this direction and giving them the budget, unfortunately, not in this evil ass Hollywood. So I mean, the idea is hopefully, in the future, I mean, now we can help fund those things, crowdfunding. Because I and maybe Zaslav has talked about, we talked about it a bunch of times, them rights getting sold. Maybe you do get a fan that can get together enough money to license a Batman project, or I know that because Bat the Sun, but any of these projects, because that's our best bet.
Right.
Getting the budget from this evil ass Hollywood, they're not gonna they're not going to hire Bat in the Sun or any other fans. How many fans we've seen do better cosplay than what their costumes can do? So many fans. They're not going to hire these guys and gals. They're embarrassed. So unfortunately, what we all think will happen and it seems to make most sense will never happen because these motherfuckers are assholes. There's no other in no uncertain terms. You know, that's the technical scientific answer. These motherfuckers are assholes because it's literally they refuse to be shown up by fans. So that's the unfortunate reason. At least my guess. Hopefully I'm wrong. Hopefully, one day they say, no, we're gonna hire these guys. But okay, so there apparently actors have gotten in and out. So they
right.
So that's a good thing. Maybe that's as good as it get. Maybe an actor.
The thing you can appreciate about Bat in the Sun is when their studio does something, they're comic book accurate. They're cartoon accurate. Like they're accurate to the fucking T more than anything, bro. They are very accurate, and they don't put their own spin on what an origin. Let's say whatever you would know the character, characteristics. Mannerisms, the look, the height, the gestures they make, all that shit. You're getting all of that when you're watching something from them, man, compared to seeing anything from anybody else. More comic book accurate suits, people that are built that actually fits the role. There's none of that race swap, gender swap, none of that fake shit, man. It's straight the fuck up, man. It's Bat in the Sun is shit, man. Great channel. Actually, they should be further ahead than where than what they are. Like you have more subscribers and everything. Man, but man, there's a lot of shit going on in comic books too nowadays. I'm getting.
I haven't been paying attention to comics like that recently. I mean, I think a lot of people have over the past few years. How is Zaslav? Because he's everyone's favorite guy now. Because he's cutting everything. He's willing to cut the damn NBA. So he has no problem cutting some woke garbage. Yeah. So how is he impacting comics? Because I remember when he first took over, that was the big thing is they were looking at the numbers. And they were basically trying to say, hey, how come something like, and I think even this was a issue. How come something like I Am Not Starfire got this much budget, but something like, a book that sold didn't got this much budget? And why did we keep printing that book when we knew it wasn't selling? And we all know the answer to that, but the financial guys are now starting to ask those questions. So that was one of the first things he was actually doing when he first took over a few months ago. So I wonder like how is that playing out now?
Actually, after that kicked off, you didn't really hear too much about what happened. There were, but what you did see was that there were some changes made. They canceled some books. They canceled some books. Then they're gonna fuck around and have a huge relaunch for next year in the comic books.
Okay.
So basically, what DC is doing is they're coming out of that dark Infinite Crisis or some shit like that story. I still haven't wrapped my head around that one yet. I will though, because whether I like it or not, I always try to figure out what's going on with the multiverse so that I can just know what the fuck's what, man. And I don't like reading that kind of shit, from YouTube, going like to Comic Story or the other comic book heads that would actually cover it. Comics Explained is the other one. Those are the two top dudes, man. And I would even, I would check them out for a few things, things that I would definitely would like to know a little bit about, but don't want to buy it. But if it's something that I'm interested in, which I am interested in DC Comics, just a little bit, man. I want to know what's going on with the multiverse, so it can explain like which direction this thing is going in. And I'm not gonna pay cover price for it. I just got to, I'm gonna do what I to get it. I'm gonna do what I do to get it for a little or nothing, but I need to understand what the story is about, so I'm gonna have to dive into those. And there's a lot of things that are into play, but what it is they're reintroducing the Golden Age.
Okay.
So basically, the Golden Age is about to become a big part of what's going on with the new DC universe starting for next year. Another thing is the Justice League is going to get replaced as the main team in DC Comics.
Really? Why?
I don't know. There's no Justice League right now. So they're coming back. All that's in the works. A lot of shit's happening. It was going to have DC and the Justice League all fucked off. Is a lot of shit's getting changed because of what's happening with Vaslov. And, it's like, how can you fuck off everybody in comic books, but you about to kick off a whole new cinematic universe? It was not going to work, man. And he knows that he needs to have a lot of shit lined up to have it shooting in all one direction if it's going to work, man. Better than Marvel. So you don't want to be like Marvel, where you fuck around the same month you come out with a new Doctor Strange movie, you fucking kill him in the comic books.
Yeah, or
Iron
Man and Iron Man's Riri Williams.
Man, but dude, the same fucking dog. You look in the comic book like, oh, Dad, this is Doctor Strange. I like him. Can I go buy a comic book? And then all of a sudden he's getting murked in his own shit. And then it's his ex-wife that's fucking Mrs. Strange. Fuck this. You know what I'm saying? It's like
they were going with there, but that's a whole nother can of worms.
Yeah.
But no, I brought the Riri. There was a few famous Marvel situations. You brought Doctor Strange, but when some of the biggest movies would come out, the house comic was nothing like it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I think when some of the Captain America movies came out, and now obviously they eventually did it on the Winter Soldier and Falcon show, or Captain America and Falcon, whatever, or Winter Soldier, whatever they call it. But that Sam Wilson was Captain America in the comic book, even though Steve was Captain America on the big screen. I know that overlapped. There are a lot of few things that were like they don't even have the right person in the position when you're looking at the comic book compared to the movie. So that was a famous issue with Marvel. And that's why, despite having the biggest movie franchise ever by a long shot, they didn't get that to go to any other division of Marvel, not even the animated stuff. Really, there was a few good animated series toward the beginning and almost pre-MCU, but they didn't really push that as hard.
No, they didn't. No, they didn't, man.
The comics and the animated stuff suffered, and because it wasn't on point marketing, and then not like DC was any better because they if they would have just went off of in the 2000s and the early 2010s, they were making the best movies, but they were animated, and they couldn't get their regular movies right. And now I don't think they really have anything right over the past few years. They've just been a dumpster fire.
Actually, they they just released on Blu-ray and all that. The Legion of Superheroes.
I didn't know they even did something with them.
Yeah, it's their new animated movie.
Okay.
Yeah, it's the Legion of Superheroes with Supergirl.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was actually in actual continuity. She was a part of the team at one point. So it was Superboy was a part of the team, and then Supergirl became a part of the team. So it's that actually happened. So it's not like they're trying to be woke or some bullshit. That actually, you can have all the comic heads in the chat tell you like,
I know they did it in the series too, the animated series, the Justice League. They had Supergirl join the Legion of Superheroes.
Okay, yeah. It's a part of their comic book history that happened like fucking over 30, 40 years ago. Like it's old as fuck. Yeah, it's something So, but it's like it has, you know, it's surrounding that, you know, in them. So, yeah, it's like the thing is they're starting to give the smaller teams or different teams more spotlight when it comes to these DC animated movies. Like, you know, like you know, like a year and a half ago, they did the Just Society of America for the first time. And I like that fucking and they working on a part 2.
Okay, I said, I stopped watching the animated movies because I mean, I think it's involved Killing Joke, but a few others just weren't that good to me. And I was like, they're not as good. So but the Justice Society was good. And have you seen this one?
The Society of America movie was actually pretty good. The fucking Flash is you know, and I'd say too much if you ain't watching, but you know, the Flash goes back in time.
I remember seeing the preview. I remember being on this show talking about the previews of that shit.
Yeah, exactly. I talked about it when it first came out, you know, long time ago. Yeah. So yeah, it you know, he goes back in time and he runs into the JSA, man. And you know, that's how that movie kicked off, you know, and then they're talking about doing a part 2 to that. So obviously part 1, if they're doing a part 2, part 1 must have been worth something. Yeah, and
especially this era. Because
I
ain't gonna make it unless it's profitable.
Oh shit, I watched it. I was like, oh shit. I was like, what the fuck, man? They should have been doing JSA cartoons a long time ago, man.
Yeah.
The first superhero group in comics, man, Just Society of America, before anybody. That's the first team ever created in comic book history. So they were a team during World War II and before anybody would thought about being a team ever, man. And the thing is, you know, the updated version of them, which is the Justice League of America, gets all the credit. Like you know, people look at them like they're the first in existence, man. Like people look at Justice League and be like, "What the fuck is Justice Society of America?" And they look at Justice Society of America like they're the imitators, the knockoff. Like, get the fuck out of here, yeah, man. So, yeah, man, I you know, I got Justice Society of America comic books autographed and shit, man.
Oh, dope.
Yeah, you know, I got the guy that created the original Green Lantern in World War II. You know, I got his autograph, man.
Oh wow! And peace out to Colonizer Jeebus. He's heading into work. Have a good day at work, man. Appreciate you being here.
Yeah, take it easy.
Yeah, take it easy, Jeebus, man. Damn, man. Appreciate you being here, brother.
Colonizing is hard work. Let's just put it that
man. Yeah, Jeebus is awesome, man. Yeah, man. Take it easy, brother. That's Wolfen said Legion comes out February 7th on digital. Yeah, man. On digital, okay, because I seen commercials already of it on Blu-ray, man. So I guess digital's coming out later.
Okay.
And but yeah, man. Wanted to talk about something that I thought was interesting. I don't know if you guys have been, you know, look now. I'm a huge Christmas guy, man, and you know, people feel certain things about Christmas. To be honest, I understand and I respect how people feel about the holidays, man. Some people think, you know, sometimes holidays are kind of hurtful to some people, you know, because of certain things. And you know, sometimes, you know, holidays can either bring the best or the worst out of folks, man. And you know, every year you see good shit, and on the flip side, you see a lot of bad shit too. But you know, on the brighter side of things, you know, I love Christmas, man, and you know, especially when people are in good spirits, man, and everything's kind of coming together. You know, Christmas can be a very special thing, man, and so, you know, in the spirit of Christmas, I saw something that I always kind of I had questions about. And finally got an answer, and I thought, well, let me share this with everybody. So this is an article that I saw. I got Baron.
There we go.
There we go. Yeah,
all right.
I did want to
talk
about this.
So basically, the creator of Christmas Story, Gene
Gene Shepard.
Shepard. I keep wanting to say some other shit. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Gene Shepard, before he did the beloved Christmas Story, basically he put out other versions of Ralphie's Family. Basically, there was a whole series of stories that he had put out, and they all, like, as we can see, they made it to film. But the thing is, a lot of people didn't know that a lot of the shit was actually connected. And I've known of, I would have to say, about 3 of them. But the fact that there's 8 Christmas Story related,
I knew about a couple. I knew about Christmas Story 2.
Yep.
I didn't know about all this other stuff.
I own Christmas Story 2. I own that.
Because I remember when it came out. Because I had a friend that Christmas Story was their favorite movie. So they was like, "Oh, did you know there was a sequel?" I'm like, "What? Yeah, it's a sequel." They had DVD. I think they watched. I don't end up remembering it or watching it, but they were really excited about it.
Yeah, I mean, as it goes, with Gene Shepard, he was noted for, of course, his writing. He also had a radio show on WOR for many years. I think he was in Philadelphia at a station, but it was like your late night, and where you just sit back and just talk and just relate stories and such. And a lot of the stuff from the Christmas Story original one came from his collected works of short tales. The most the biggest one was In God We Trust, All Other Pay Cash, which is a great name, and the other one was Wanda Hickey's Night of Golden Memories is the other one. And basically it was kind of like a semi-fictional retelling of growing up,
right.
And so it's all nostalgia. And of course, with his voice, he had such a great voice when he was telling those stories. Actually, out there, you can actually find someone that plays a lot of those shows over and over again that they recorded, and you can just listen to blocks of Gene Shepard's shows that he had on WOR New York and a few of the other stuff like that. So, but yeah, a lot of, and I think when you say sequels in there, I think that's not actually fully correct, because some of the stuff you might want to call prequels, because they came out before A Christmas Story, which I never knew about.
Right.
So this came from Crack. That's the source. There's another group that I'm not necessarily a big fan of, but Brian Van Hooker, what a great name, wrote this back on the 18th, a couple days ago, and all 8 of the Christmas Story sequels ranked. And of course, the first one you see there is that Christmas Story 2.
Right.
So, A Christmas Story Christmas, the long-awaited follow-up to holiday favorite, is now out on HBO Max. The thing is, this simple enough description conveniently ignores the fact that there have already been numerous other follow-ups to A Christmas Story, all of them with different casts, and all of them take place at different points in Ralphie's life.
Right.
Overall, there have been a total of 9 movies and TV movies in the Parker Family Saga, which is the name for the fictionalized stories based on the life of radio personality Gene Shepard, who also voiced the older Ralphie in A Christmas Story. I absolutely adore A Christmas Story and consider it to be an utterly perfect Christmas classic. I second that. And while I was more than a bit skeptical about the release of A Christmas Story Christmas, I decided to check out all 6 of the sequels to A Christmas Story, as well as the 2 TV movies that preceded it, though they took place when Ralphie was a teenager, so they're technically sequels too, I guess. Yeah. It was a Grinchian task that left me exhausted and with a foul taste in my mouth, but it wasn't without its surprises and occasional holiday cheer, even if that holiday cheer was no longer exclusive to Christmas. For suspenseful purposes, I arranged the list below from the best to the worst. Either way, I highly recommend watching A Christmas Story for the 400th time before sinking into the depths of these sequels require. And we go with number 8, A Great American 4th of July and Other Disasters from 1982. This was Gene Shepard's... Sorry?
What's the title again?
The Great American 4th of July and Other Disasters. That's typical Gene Shepard's writing.
No,
That's how
no,
he.
yeah. I know, man. That's a hell of a title for a movie. So that
Yep.
went to theaters, or was it like?
No, this was
for
TV. This was a television movie
that's
from
what I thought.
1982. Mhm.
Yeah, I figured if it was for TV, they would have told them to short. I mean, for theater, they probably would have told them to shorten that shit up, man. In a way in hell, a fucking a movie in the theater is going to be that long with that much shit in there. Nah.
Yeah, exactly. And this was Shepard's second TV movie about the Parker family, and it was released a year before A Christmas Story. It rhymes aren't quite there yet. The old man seems too mean, and Ralphie, who is awkwardly played by Matt Dillon, is a teenager, which isn't nearly as charming as him as a tween. Nevertheless, it's an adventure that stands on its own merit and has a few generally funny moments, including a runaway fireworks sequence that made me laugh out loud. And I'm sure that's probably what they have for that scene.
So you got Matt Dillon as fucking Ralphie.
Yeah, Matt Dillon was Ralphie.
Holy shit. What do y'all think about that shit, man? What you think?
It makes me want to hunt it down and watch it, actually.
So this was really a prequel, or this came out before?
Yeah.
No. What it is though, but if I'm not mistaken, that's Ralphie as a teenager. So he's like it's when he's older, right?
Right.
So more accurately, Christmas Story is a prequel of this,
right? And Ralphie's life, it's like if you look at him from being a kid into growing up, then it's. But see, the thing is, what throws it off is the order of they were made. It's like they were made. Like the movie was made before A Christmas Story, but it's Ralphie's life after A Christmas Story.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, and it's the second movie. So there was one before that one.
Oh, okay. See, I think that it's like because there are other series that have this kind of weird thing going on because the way we think of continuity today is different than when they made movies back in the day, especially if you're making it for TV. Some of these are for feature. They were just making movies. You know what I'm saying? They didn't really think about, okay, how is this going to all connect in one universe? Even if they use the same actor for the same character, they weren't really worried about that as much as we are now. So even if these are the same characters, there's no way in 82 they're like making this thinking about, oh yeah, when we make the Christmas Story, got to make sure all this stuff lines up. They didn't really care too much about stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Yeah. So and then this one, I've heard a lot of, I don't know if hype is the right word, but just stuff about it because I'm like, oh, it's a new Christmas Story.
I'll tell you about it after we're done because I actually have seen it.
Okay.
What's that?
What channel was that on?
What?
How did you watch
Christmas?
Oh, what channel? It's on HBO Max.
Okay.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. So, actually, Pacific 414 myself, he showed it in our Discord group, so we watched the movie. So, yeah, I know it's we couldn't resist. We wanted to see this really bad, and like I said, I'll talk about it after we're done with this. Mm-hmm. So, but consider that a tease. So, of course, number 7, A Christmas Story, Christmas 2022 this year, obviously. I was prepared to hate this movie, but to my great surprise, I kind of liked it. What a wuss. I watched it after I watched everything else, and having Peter Billingsley back as Ralphie, particularly after watching more than a half a dozen other Ralphies, was a delight. Was a delight. Even though it's decades later, he still feels like the same character. The movie also has smart nods to the original without merely repeating the same jokes. It might never get out of the shadows of the original, but it doesn't really try either. It's a nice walk down memory lane that also manages a few laughs and some welcome surprises. So that was that one. Now we go to number 6, The Phantom of the Open Hearth, 1976. This is the Gene Shepard's first TV movie, and it's pretty dull. Though I'm a bit forgiving because it was his first outing.
What's it called?
Broderick is called The Phantom of the Open Hearth, 1976.
Right.
And James Broderick played the old man in the Great American 4th of July. And again, I tend to think he's a little too mean for the role. What's so great about Darren McGavin as the old man in A Christmas Story is just how hilariously dead inside he seems. The Phantom of the Open Hearth also suffers because so much of the story is reused in A Christmas Story, particularly the leg lamp bit. But the whole movie almost feels like an early draft to A Christmas Story.
Yeah, it's probably
And
what it was.
Yep. And an interesting bit of trivia about Broderick is that he's the father of Matthew Broderick, who married Horseface, and who also played the adult voice of Ralphie in A Christmas Story Live, which, regrettably, I'll be getting to soon.
Huh.
Now, we come to number 5. The star-crossed romance of Josephine Kosnowiecki. There we go. The first TV movie after A Christmas Story, the star-crossed romance of Josephine Kosnowiecki, feels much more like the TV movie that preceded A Christmas Story than anything else. Perhaps because A Christmas Story wasn't a hit when it first came out, and only because it only became popular a decade or so later. It's another less charming story with a teenage Ralphie, though the chunky-ish face of Peter Kawanko felt more like Ralphie to me than any other teenage Ralphies did. And there's a saddy face here. You can't watch it. Most of the story is about Ralphie lusting over the new Polish girl in town, and he goes on and on about Polish girls and Polish food. Perhaps I've not met the right Polish girl, but it seems strange to have this lovey-dovey talk intermixed with references to kielbasa. Come on, a good kielbasa? What are you talking about? There was one part at the very end that made me laugh when Ralphie's kid brother, Randy, played a turkey in the school play. Shepard's narration referred to it as the high point of Randy's entire life.
Oh, my goodness. Okay, so, all right, man. All right, so what's the next one, man?
So we have number 4 here, Ollie Hop Noodles, Haven of Bliss from 1988. Oh my God, this was so freaking boring. Of all the various entries in the Parker family saga, 4 of them operate as direct follow-ups to A Christmas Story, but none of the sequels consider any of the other sequels canon. Ollie Noodles, Haven of Bliss, however, is the first to act as a direct sequel, yet it's done very poorly. In it, the Parkers go to the lake for the summer. Jerry O'Connell, we all know him, is the young Ralphie, but he lacks the spunk Billingsley had.
Wow.
The biggest letdown, though, is the old man, played by James Syking, who, if people know Star Trek 3, he was Captain Styles. He also was in the Hill Street Blues, who portrays the patriarch entirely without edge. While some of the previous takes on the old man make him a bit too mean, it's much worse for him to be such a boring, nice guy.
Wow.
Which is odd because James Syking can play a bit of a, rump. Now, I knew about this one. Number 3, it runs in the family, My Summer Story, 1994. My Summer Story was the last time Shepard would narrate Ralphie before Shepard's death in 1999. And it was the rare theatrical release of the Parker family saga, A Christmas Story, being the other. But don't be fooled. Just because it once played on the big screen doesn't mean it's worth watching. I thought maybe with Charles Grodin as the old man, there could be a laugh or two, but nope. The film, which features Karen Culkin as Ralphie and Mary Steenburgen as his mom, is utterly lifeless from beginning to end. Even Shepard, whose charming prose was always the lifeblood of these stories, seems highly disinterested in the proceedings. Now we'll go on. Number 2, A Christmas Story 2, the official sequel, as they put it on the box, from 2012, so 10 years ago. A Christmas Story 2 was a blatant attempt to cash in on the fact that A Christmas Story had now become a bona fide classic. A guy named Nat Malden does a serviceable job filling in for Shepard as the narrator, and Daniel Stern, a.k.a. Marv from Home Alone, was pleasant enough as the old man. Everyone else, however, makes the movie unwatchable. There's a fine line. There's a fine line between heightened performance and Disney Channel acting, and
Wow.
Christmas Story 2 is overflowing with the latter. It also does that annoying thing some sequels do, where they repeat all the classic jokes from the original, including its own spin on the Flick licks the flagpole joke, which inflicted as much pain upon me as that frozen flagpole inflicted upon Flick. Now, I'm
All right.
assuming they count this as the worst one, and I will have to. I never saw A Christmas Story 2, and I really don't want to see A Christmas Story 2, to be honest with you. And, I did see a little bit of this, and that tells you what. I had to turn it off. I couldn't watch this
What's
one, but
this?
A Christmas Story Live from 2017. It was, let me tell you, A Christmas Story in song is some kind of torture on the ears and eyes. This was the
Wait a minute.
musical. This
It
was
was
the
a
music.
musical?
Yeah, they live musical on Fox in 2017. And yeah, in some parts of the nation, I believe it was live. Of course, on the West Coast, it was taped because of the time difference. But yes, this was a live play type thing. And seriously, this thing was over 2 hours of people singing classic scenes from A Christmas Story. There's even a song called "You'll Shoot Your Eye Out," and
What?
and insufferable as that sounds, I promise you that it's much, much worse. In fact, if I ever have to sit through A Christmas Story Live again, I'll be sure to ask for my own Red Ryder BB gun so I can shoot my eyes out beforehand. And that was his rankings of all the Christmas Story movies. Of course, it looks like he put that Great American 4th of July and Other Disasters higher. I wouldn't know. I have not seen that one, so I can't say one way or another. But as I said, I the other day on Thursday, Mike from Pacific 414 and myself, we sat back and we watched this in our private little man cave and Discord of our secret club. After doing our secret handshakes, we sat down and we watched it.
Illuminati confirmed.
Yep, exactly. You know it, man. And you didn't know I was, huh? But we did sit back and watch, and we were obviously intrigued from the trailers that they had on there. It looked good. It looked promising. And we were both on our knees praying that it would be that way, because we wanted to have something where when we're done, we could go and point and say, "See that right there? That's how you do it." Just like Top Gun Maverick and a few of the others. And you know what? It did not disappoint at all. I sit back, I put a lot higher than this schmuck. I mean, the fact that he kind of, was kind of disparaging through this. This is a perfect bookend. I recommend anybody this year watch the first one and then go and watch this one. Peter Billingsley sounds surprisingly good, like Gene Shepard. I mean, not quite on there, but he was like, yeah, it sounds, it's like, okay, this has that Gene Shepard quality. Peter Billingsley loves this property so much, he's not going to mess around. All the kids are back in their adult form, including Scott Farkus. The only one they replaced was the mother. The mother wasn't played by the original actress. It was played by,
yeah, probably. It's probably
from Airplane.
Yeah, because I think the mother's probably too old to do it, man. So.
Yeah, Julie Haggerty from Airplane was the mother, and she did a fantastic job in there, just like the other. What was great is they didn't really recycle any of the jokes. They had little nods to the original, but it wasn't member berries. And they even had different takes, like with the Santa Claus scene and all that. They had different takes that that surprise you. There were some stuff in here I was just laughing my ass off. And there's other moments in this film that really hits you in the heart. Because in this film, of course, the old man's not there, and they make that mention to it. The old man dies in the beginning of the film, and now it's Ralphie's job to be the old man. And, Flick and Schwartz are still at it. Flick owns a bar. Schwartz has got a huge bar tab with the bar, and they're doing their little tricks back. I double dog dare you, and if you do this, I'll rip up all your bar tabs. And as it goes, but again, like I said, it's not copying the other film. There are
Okay.
nods. There are very good nods to it. Even if you listen to the radio show, they even at one point were playing the music that Gene Shepard used for the opening to his radio show in there. So Gene Shepard fans would notice that, which hey, that's Gene Shepard's theme song in there.
Okay.
This I rated this high. I rated about an 8.5.
Okay.
And Mike was about 7.5. But this was again at the end there. This is how you do it, Hollywood. Vince Vaughn was a co-producer with it, along with Ralphie, because they're partners. So
Okay.
it was in great, fantastic hands.
You know what it is? Hollywood knows what to do, and they have the talent to be able to do it. They haven't been doing it purposely. I think we're starting to see the much predicted pendulum shift a little bit, where you're starting to see more and more. Even something like, as it's been infamously called, Black Panther, Wakanda Forever. Trust me, that movie could have been a lot more woke than it was. Don't get me wrong. There's a lot of subtext. I actually saw it last week while I was on the show. But they didn't. They went softcore woke. They didn't go like hardcore purple hair feminist woke.
Well, that's because they're all bald.
They just got rid of the men, so that way they didn't have to disparage them. That was the goal. There was just no Wakandan men like the whole movie. So they were like they couldn't make fun of them and drag them to victory. But no, even with that, and when you saw Top Gun, you start to see certain properties get a little bit more of a shift. We've talked ad nauseum the past couple months about Zaslav and a lot of stuff he's been doing.
Right.
I think there's starting to be at least a segment of Hollywood, or maybe it's just the economics. It's like, hey, man, we can't afford to put everything in this woke basket. I think we're still going to see it. They're going to try to be a little bit more subtle about it, but they are going to start to make properties that we like, and they are going to start to have to pay honor to these properties, because there's too many people who've just heard that over the past couple years, and they know, okay, if we honor these properties, we might do a little bit better. There's enough people in Hollywood to know. And I think there's enough people in Hollywood. We are going to start to see it. We are going to start to see more and more properties. And I'm glad this one was treated with respect.
Yeah.
We'll see more of that, because they have to. They have to make money.
Right.
And the entertainment industry is in. I don't see how the entertainment industry we have now exists in 5 years, 10 years. If they're talking about, because Amazon wants to buy up a lot of broadcast rights, but people still don't watch Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
So that just but they're the only ones who have the money to spend on a lot of these properties, because everyone's been taking a bath. Amazon's one of the only strong companies on earth right now, right?
Yeah.
I buy shit. As much shit as I funded, just with all the shit I buy from Amazon, half this house is probably from Amazon. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So it's like I'm literally looking at so many things I got off of Amazon just in my eyesight. So it's just ridiculous. But like I don't see how this modern TV and movie industry exists. The theaters also are having tons of issues. You know what I'm saying? So they have to shape up, or their life as a property depends on it.
It's funny. I'm sorry. Go ahead, man.
Oh, sorry about that. I was just going to say the only sad thing is it wasn't released. This wasn't released in the theater. I think it would have been great if it was released in the theater. This is a theater movie film, and I think it probably would have done good. I mean, if not released it now, probably in the beginning of December when you're getting into more of the holiday spirit. But I think it's being shorted. But just because it's been straight to HBO Max,
right.
And if
I was going to say that. I think that hurt it. I agree.
Yeah. If you have HBO Max, watch it. I mean, honestly, you're not going to be disappointed. And if you have the opportunity, watch the first one first, and then watch this one.
Are they both on HBO Max?
I don't know if the other one is.
Actually, because if I'm not mistaken, I think Christmas Story is a Warner Brothers.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think
Now,
it is
Christmas
a Warner
Story.
Brothers.
I think A Christmas Story 2 is on HBO Max, and please don't get fooled.
No, but that's Warner Brothers.
Yeah.
So they might have. I'll check. Actually,
Yeah.
Find in HBO Max.
But yeah, this is how it's supposed to be. And just like you were saying, I was saying about 5 years we're going to be seeing a big paradigm shift in Hollywood, And this right here. This it is so nice. No, because a lot of us just sit back and bitch and moan about how they're doing things wrong in Hollywood.
Mhm.
It is so nice. It is so refreshing to be able to sit back and say, what a freaking great film this was. It's a simple story.
Yeah.
It doesn't
and the
need to be
original Christmas
complex.
story, I just checked, not to cut you off, but the original Christmas story is on HBO Max, so you can watch
Okay,
it.
great. Yeah. So I recommend get the family together and watch them back to back. It's not a long film. It doesn't need to be a long film. And for someone who grew up, because this is taking place in 1973, so I was 5 at the time. So, I mean, this is bringing back memories to me of how things were back in the day. It's like, oh, this is hitting a little too close to home here, So anyone who grew up in the 70s, early 80s would understand this. This was the love letter to people in that age category, just like the original one was to the generation that grew up when that was happening.
Right. Yeah, actually, it's kind of like, I guess it all goes back to what I was saying last week when I was talking about all this. I was saying, just think, it's when this movie came out, Christmas Story, video games were in, board games were going out, action figures were still a thing, and a movie comes out talking about how people lived back in the 30s, 40s?
Yeah, I'd say so 1973, and it's about 33 years before that the first one was supposed to take place. So they did make mention of that. It was 33 years since the first film.
So it's supposed to be 1940 in the first one then.
Yeah.
Okay.
So 33 years, that's 50.
So 73, so that'd be 40, 1940. Even.
Okay.
Yeah,
so, right. So just think so just think you watch, you're in the 80s watching the movie about the 40s. And it becomes a hit. Like I said, at first it didn't, but over time people recognized it for what it was, and actually the movie's pretty fucking genius, man.
It is. And the one thing I do take issue with what you're talking about, and a lot of people are saying, "Oh, it took 10 years before it caught on." No, it actually caught on a lot faster than that. It started catching on about 1985, 1986 with the release on the VHSs, and of course release on cable. So it was already starting to get momentum then, and it really exploded with TNT doing their 24 hours.
TNT, that's when they were doing that, like people really had to watch it. That's what really blew it up, man. And and the thing is, like I say, that movie's fucking genius, man. And like I say, when you have people enjoy it, knowing that it was showing a life, from decades before. So it's it's an early 80s, it's an 80s movie showing life in the 40s. And then now it's 33 years later to where this is a movie made in 2022, 2021, 2022, but it takes place in the 70s. So the thing is, like, all the references you're gonna see, is gonna be from everything 70s, man.
Yep.
And it's like, dude, this is like, the thing, like I say, this is genius, to see that, what they're doing is, if the only probably the most updated thing that they're doing at their time might be a board game. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, you're not going to catch video games. You're not going to catch a whole bunch of shit. You might catch comic books, board games, because Ralphie has kids now.
Yep.
The rest of them dudes, some of them have kids. So it's like, shit, when it comes on at that perspective, so it's like, it's us, trying to, enjoy a movie that takes place in the 70s, that's reflective of how they came up back in the 40s. And it's like, damn, so it's like, basically it's like you're going back to basics when it comes to this movie. There's not, it's not a whole CGI fest. Dude, I'm going to tell you something. This Christmas Story movie that we're getting right now, that's new, going to HBO Max, it's probably got to be one of the most wholesome fucking movies you're gonna see, man. That's not woke, but and it's not it's not preachy or nothing like that. It's like it's just it's a Christmas movie that's paying homage to what it was, bringing back the actors that that made the movie special to begin with, and it's showing them in their adult life, and it is taking place in the 70s, so you get to see those same kids basically in a newer element from the last time you seen them. You know what I'm saying? And it's like it's some cool shit, man. Dude, I respect it all the way around. I think for what it is and for what it, I seen some people trying to dunk on it. Zachariah 315, what's going on, brother?
Yeah,
hey, what's up, Pacific 414?
Hephaestus, I see he needs to crash.
Oh man, take it easy, brother.
Hey, take care.
Hey man, yeah man, you have a good night, man, and I'm gonna hit you up, man. Thank you, bro. Hey man, and the thing is, man, it's like it's like, man, they're respecting how it's all going down. Like, dude, these ain't the same people that were a part of the first one trying to come in and cash in on some shit, slap a bullshit movie together and call it a Christmas Story sequel. Dude, these people did their homework, man, and I bet if you really like deep dive into the shit, I bet you'll see all kind of Easter eggs. If you're a real true fan, you can pick out so much shit. The thing is, man, I'm just respecting that. These are people that love it enough to try to pick up what Gene Shepard left behind and give it, one more go for him and for themselves, and for everything that the franchise has given. This movie has given to each actor. To show enough love to give it back to the movie, and hey, let's do another one. Right. It's like, yeah, it's some good shit, man.
This was not a cash grab movie. I mean, this wasn't a movie, hey, let's just ride on the coattails like the other, some of the other ones were. This was a work of love all the way through. I mean, I was watching a little bit of an interview with Pierre Bellantine, and they said, yeah, they went in there and they literally built the town again around it to make it look like it would be that neighborhood, 33 years later. And you actually meet one of the Bumpuses for the first time. You never saw a Bumpus in the first film other than the Hounds. You actually see one of the Bumpuses next door that was always plaguing the old man. And it's got a lot, like I said, there are some great laughs in there. It's not forced. The Easter eggs they do have in there are not member berries. They're believable. It'd be something that, if you came home and you started rummaging through the attic, that would happen to you, type of thing. And it was, and of course, like I said, it does hit you in the heart sometimes because of the situations that they're in there. This is all the way across the board, the ultimate family film. It really is a family film, which we need more of like this. And it doesn't dumb down, and it's not too far above. It's just right.
Now, you mentioned family film. Since the woke have taken over, I've kind of like internally calculated the films that we don't see anymore. Right. We don't see comedy anymore. We don't see chick flicks anymore. We don't see, and then family film was another one. Now, part of that was the Marvel Universe. You had Guardians who kind of took that place, but you don't see. And then you did also have the a lot of animated stuff. Used to be DreamWorks, now called Illumination, but we talk about the Despicable Me. Sing, things of that nature. But like the classic family film, you just don't like with live action family film, you don't see anymore that much of. Like I said, chick flicks, you don't see chick flicks because they're not allowed to be women anymore. You know what I mean?
Well, of course, chick flicks is about fighting the guy, and he's like, "Oh no, you're better than that."
No, you don't need no man. And then you don't see comedies because you might say something inappropriate and you don't want to offend anyone.
Or if we do a comedy, it's not funny.
Yeah, we do a comedy. It's only feminist comedy, or they had the bros that came out. No one really wants to see that. No. So those are the only type of films, and family film is another one. It's almost as if, man, I hate to be a conspiracy theorist on this show because I feel like this show is just more hardcore talking about the entertainment. But it's almost as if this was a little bit of a little societal engineering by excluding stuff that we saw. How many chick flicks, how many comedies, how many family films did we see in the 90s and 2000s? It was too many of them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then they just don't exist anymore. It's just weird how that is.
Yeah,
And the only time you see women are in predominantly male type films, and it's just like,
And when we did have some of those family films, it was like the Disney style, cheap ones, which was another, putting the stake through the heart on that one, because it's kind of dumbed down. And it's like, why do we want to go through there? And it's not worth a second watch. This one I'm going to watch again. I mean, there's no doubt about it. I'm going to sit down with the long suffer and we're going to watch this. And I'll probably watch it again after that.
This deserves credit for trying to do a family film, and it deserves credit for taking the property seriously. Even though I didn't see it, I do want to see it, and I think it should be recommended. We can't just complain about the woke every day, complain about the bad, the lazy, and not big up when they say, no, we're going to take this property seriously. We're going to make a genuine movie. It's a shame it didn't come out in the theaters, especially knowing, the past few weeks watching movies in the theaters, realizing how cool the theater experience still is. I think they really, I'm not sure if that was a holdover decision. I think they really should have, and I understand Zaslav's budget. He's not it takes money to put something in the theater. You got to do the marketing and all that other stuff. I get it. But I think they really probably left some money on the table not putting this in theaters. This could have been one of those like surprise. You used to have those surprise hits where it was a movie that no one really expected. I could definitely see this one getting word of mouth. It probably didn't have the biggest budget to begin with. I'm sure they didn't spend 10, 15 million. No special effects needed, right? So
not really.
Maybe there was one little CG thing that you don't notice, but like for the most part, it's probably just straight up filming.
Yeah, straight up,
yeah.
So
straight up, yeah.
You could,
and it proves you don't need to have a big budget. It proves you don't need it. Why do you need a huge budget to make a good film?
You really don't. You really don't. Especially, even action films. Stop doing so much CG. I don't know if anyone's paid attention to it. I've talked a little bit about it on my channel. Maybe even said something.
I've been watching you, brother.
Yeah, the CG situation is
out of control.
Out of control, and they're not paying these CG houses properly. That's why we're getting subpar work. It's not just a matter of that they want too much for too little. They want to do everything with CG so they can pre-do the movie. Marvel's been known for that.
And then they're rushing it.
They rush it. Rush it. It's similar to what happens in a lot of these games because you got some of the same type of people, same type of developers and graphical engineers, whatever you want to call them.
That's Cyberpunk.
Yep, Cyberpunk. You had a similar thing where the budget
was The Witcher 3 went through that. At first, Doc, people don't know, man. The Witcher 3.
You forgot about the Witcher 3.
Dog, that shit was a fucking rock, man. That game was a piece of shit, man. And then it's like, they had to like throw out updates and reconfiguration, this and that, and doing all this stuff.
It still has bugs to this day. Yeah.
Well, Fallout 76.
As a matter of fact,
Fallout 76. That was check out. There's so much material on that. It was a nightmare. But similar,
No Man's Sky.
No Man's Sky. Yeah, we could go on and on about these games that were unfinished. The same thing is happening in the CG industry. They're not getting. Sometimes they actually do release movie patches, but for the most part, you don't get patches. What was happening is they have a set date where they have to have a movie or a film or a TV show done by, and they have a set amount of people, set amount of budget, and they crunch and we get the lowest common denominator version of it. And you know what? If you shot it practical, you would save a lot of more money. You would save a lot more headache, and we would get better. I think we would get better films. I think if this continues, they'll have to shoot practical because they can't get blood from a turnip. And a lot of how many of these big budget CG films that we forgot about failed? I'm thinking about the Tom Cruise Mummy and shit like that. This doesn't always work. Yeah, we forgot that existed, right?
Just think like you talk about that kind of shit. Just think about when it came out with the reboot of Clash of the Titans.
That's another
both of them.
Yep. So hopefully they, CG, and I've talked a little bit about the. I saw a video on it, so I can't remember the creator. We're talking about how they used to do CGI and digital effects. It used to have some practical reference points for, if you remember the first Iron Man, there was a real suit and a guy walking around in an Iron Man suit plus the CG effects with it. And they don't do that anymore. They don't film stuff. Everything's pure green screen.
Yep. Exactly. And it's become lazy filming. I mean, special effects are supposed to help, not be the end all be all. And when you start relying on your special effects for your film, then you failed.
Yeah. If anyone's seen like the opening scene of that Uncharted movie where it just looks completely ridiculous, the CG of him hanging outside this helicopter or this plane or whatever, and it just looks so ridiculous. But that was, that's basically a lot of these CG jobs on No Man's Sky, only without a patch. You know what I mean? They just rush it. This is what we get. As long as, and it increasing the budget too. So it's like, we all know the answer. Just film practical. We talked about Bat in the Sun. Look what they do. They don't have a quarter or a tenth of a Hollywood budget. Look what they're able to produce.
Right.
It's just laziness. And
yeah.
So, yeah. So I'm done with that, Ram. Sorry, I just hopped on the box.
Sounds good to me. I don't apologize. You're one of the primetime kings, man.
There you go, man. So, yeah, actually, you can appreciate. It's funny, man, when you think about how a lot of effects are not even used nowadays. Like stop motion is another one.
Yeah.
So basically, CGI takes the place of stop motion and a few other practical effects. Shit, matter of fact, from Bass and Rankin, one of them passed away about 2 weeks ago.
Yep.
And that's
Rankin did.
Yeah, Rankin. Yeah, and that's everything that you've seen from Frosty the Snowman and Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer and Christmas Without a Year Without a Santa Claus and
The Hobbit, the animated.
The first animated Hobbits from the late 60s, early 70s or whatever.
Mid 70s.
Yeah. So, Doc, I own all those too, man. So,
cool.
Yeah, I got the original ones that came out on DVD that were that had a paper case to them. Like a hard paper cardboard case.
I hated those.
Yeah. It came out on that, and then they came out with a remastered. They remastered those cartoons.
And I tell you what, you take a look at the cast they got for a TV animated film. It was spectacular. Just look at that cast: John Huston, Orson Bean, Richard Boone. I mean, just right on down. These are big names.
Another good thing too, if you guys like Lord of the Rings, check out the BBC Lord of the Rings that came out in the early 80s.
Yes. The one that's on the radio play, That's where Sir Ian Holm has the distinction of playing both Bilbo and Frodo, because he was Frodo in the radio play, and then he was Bilbo in the movies.
Yeah, man. So, so it's like with those, Rankin and Bass, man, they were very important, man, to a lot of kids. I got so much shit that they've put out, man. They got all these Easter, a bunch of Easter stuff, things with Fred Astaire, different stuff for different holidays. And like I say, man, and it's the end of an era, man. When you talk about Rankin and Bass gone,
yeah.
So yeah, man, it's an interesting time, man. It's crazy. You got Quentin Tarantino said maybe 2 days ago. He said this has to be the worst era ever in Hollywood with movies. This has to be the worst shit he's ever seen, man.
It is.
I agree.
So it's when it's funny you got Quentin Tarantino point out saying, "Hey man, this is the worst shit that I've ever seen out of any era in Hollywood, man. This got to be it, man."
That's because there's not enough feet.
Yeah, Quentin had his feet thing, man. He was a weird guy with that. And it's funny, you see a lot of his shorts. I've been seeing at least a lot of his shorts of him talking about screenwriting and making movies. And it's clear he had a passion for it, right? Regardless of some of the weird imagery he might overuse or trope in his own films, he clearly has a passion for script writing and filmmaking and
right.
And I don't think there were enough execs with that passion. Now, I mean, Quentin Tarantino, if you know some of his buddies going on that weird stuff, mainly his main producer of a lot of his movies.
Weinstein.
Yeah. So he, there's that element of Hollywood that needs to be noteworthy as well. And maybe that element of using what you got to get where you need to go has gone too far, to the point where there's too many people in positions of power or positions of creative power, at least, who don't really give a shit about the property. That's why we were just gushing over this Christmas Story sequel, just because they cared about the property. And I think we're going to get more of that, because I think more and more Hollywood is not. It is. I know a lot has been made since your dildo's not here. He would be talking about some of the shadow fund. He would go conspiracy theory. He talk about BlackRock and the ESG stuff, which is not really conspiracy anymore, right?
No, it's there.
It's confirmed. And we know about how China was a huge funding of a lot of stuff we saw, but China's out. And everybody all across the board, money wise, man, as much as there's some very evil people who do a lot of things for evil reasons or for societal reasons and for evil stuff. No doubt. If you watch my channel, that's all I talk about. But I'm coming to understand some of the classic old reasons, are still applied. Money still applies. You can't not make money, no matter what they do, no matter how evil and they want a societal engineer and they're trying to push certain agendas on our children. We know it. They still have to return a profit. They can't lose as much money as they have been losing across the board, across multitudes of entertainment companies. They're not pulling their weight right now, and it's because they produce so much garbage. They did it to themselves, but I don't think they can keep doing, money doesn't matter, we'll be woke, and we got enough money coming in, it doesn't matter. I don't think a lot of these companies are in that position anymore. I think they've burnt through a lot of that money.
Yeah, they'd be like, yeah, we don't give a fuck how much money we burn as long as we put our message out.
Right.
I mean, I remember, I think, what was that? Was it Gillette? One of the fucking companies said they burnt $1 billion and was like, yo, that's the best $1 billion I ever burned, just to let motherfuckers know what's up on, on this identity politics shit. Yeah, that bullshit, man. You motherfucker.
I didn't know if they said that. I know they lost $8 billion, but I think I did hear somebody say that. I don't know.
No, it wasn't them. It was another company that was like, yo.
Yeah,
it's the best fucking $1 billion I ever fucking lost. I had to put that message out, like whatever.
Yeah,
they were saying that on that first billion. Now that they get 10 down, they're like, whoa, we gotta stop. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They were up there. They were like, oh yeah, we'll spend $1 billion just to let you whatever know. And now it's like, now you're down the whole 15 billion, sir. It's like,
well, it's not just insulting; it's lying.
Yeah,
lying. Of course, So no wonder why people. I mean, like the last, the stop motion they did. It was Satan Inc. last year.
Oh yeah.
I mean, they wasted all that time to make a stop motion for a piece of shit like that. That's nothing but insulting. And then leading up to it, both Sarah Silverman and whatever the hell is the other schmuck's name?
Seth Rogen.
Seth Rogen. All they're doing is insulting Christians and insulting Christmas. And it's like, you're surprised nobody wants to watch your shit?
Oh, yeah, man.
Yep.
I'm kind of convinced that A Christmas Story Christmas is a response to that from last year.
Were they both HBO Max properties?
No, it was Netflix.
Netflix. Okay.
Yeah, typical Netflix bull. Yeah.
But you might be right, where there's someone, okay, we got to make something to kind of, because honestly, it's a smart thing to try to make a Christmas Netflix thing because it's towards the end of the year, and I noticed myself, I have a lot of time off toward the end of the year, and lots of people start to stay at home, or you know what I mean. If you can, and not everyone can. Lord knows when I was younger, I couldn't work all these fucking holidays. Now I'm old enough to not. I earned that shit. But no, if you are able to, people my age had kids and shit who take off the holidays and take off weeks when they can use some of their time now for the holidays. Now they have a little bit more free time, and this is the time to toss out if you have a good Christmas movie for the streaming services. This is the time to toss it out. So I'm hoping that this Christmas Story is like a hit for HBO Max. They had, I think, Rings of Power not Rings of Power. I'm getting them confused with the good one. Because they talk so much about Rings of Power. Fucking House of the Dragon. That probably brought a lot of normie eyes back to the platform HBO Max.
HBO Max, yeah.
So I think they definitely are in line to have this become a hit because of that, because they're now, because a lot of people forgot about HBO Max. And so this is a nice little thing to kind of like right after that House of the Dragons. Oh, there's a Christmas Story on here. I'm gonna grab the kids and watch this so we can talk about when I was a kid, how I like the original movie, stuff like that. So good for them. Hope that actually happens. We need to support them good.
Yeah, because we can't just rely on the old ones that we've grown up with, like A Miracle on 34th Street and A Wonderful Life. As much as they should still be part of the holiday tradition, you gotta get new ones in there. You gotta show that
like Jingle All the Way when I was younger. It was new.
Oh yeah, exactly. And you gotta get something out there that's a Christmas classic. Of course, A Christmas Story did that, but that was 33 years ago. So this new one is like, oh, it's great to see someone doing something that's going to help keep some sort of tradition thing alive. Because I think when people do get to see this, especially back to back with the other one, it'll be part of the routine. Let's have the Christmas Story and the follow up, because they're both just they deserve to be seen together.
And actually, I can actually see it like you put enough eyes on it. And people actually warm up to it, like sit there, really watch it and be like, oh, damn, this is, I think it's going to subvert everybody's expectations, man, as far as them thinking that this is going to be something that's going to be terrible. Because, a lot of people have certain expectation for a sequel nowadays, man. So so people are going to come into this. That's why a lot of people are not taking it serious. You bring in the same actors. A lot of people are not really talking about it either.
No,
so
sadly. That's why I want to see it. That's why I'm saying it here. That's why I'm telling everybody, go out and see it. Then get the ball rolling. If you have it, watch it. If you like the first one, watch this one, and then tell your friends and keep on going. Don't let this thing get buried. Get it out there.
Make sure people know about it. There's a lot of fans of the original. It's the only way we get good stuff is if people actually watch it.
Right. And the thing is, this shit is true to the original. It'll be something worth watching right along with the Christmas Story. Like I could see it being, a household thing to watch in rotation with A Christmas Story and a Rankin and Bass, Rudolph and Frosty and and this. A bunch of other shit. You know what I'm saying? Charlie Brown Christmas and all kind of good stuff, man. I think it'll be good, to put it in the rotation, man.
Yeah, so, definitely.
Yeah, that's my take on that, man.
Do it. Get out there and watch it, and let your friends that would like it know about it. And, like I said, this is finally something where you can sit back and go and be heaping praise and going hallelujah instead of, oh my God, we're not going. This is what we want. And it's just as much as we like to bitch about stuff, we got to be quick to go out there and praise harder the stuff that's good.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to give it a spin, man. So, I'm there, man. Now that I know, got HBO Max, so
Mm-hmm.
definitely gonna be checking it out.
Mm-hmm.
But shit, I'm gonna go ahead and get ready to wrap this up, man. You guys got any last thoughts on Christmas Story?
See it.
I'm gonna check it out. That's it.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna give it a spin, man. It's
Mhm.
I trust Peter Billingsley, man. So
Yeah.
you
And
know,
that's about the
and I know it's what, about an hour and a half.
about an hour and a half. Yeah, it's not again. It's not a really long film, and
Yeah,
that's exactly the same thing. Knowing that Peter Billingsley did it, and then hearing that they're bringing back all the kids, including the young brother. I mean, anyone that was a kid that was in the first one is in this one, and it's great to see them all together. And the thing is they all do a great job. They all do a great job. It's not like one of those forced,
yeah,
acting type of things. They're all doing a great
it's
job.
like, yeah, I've already did the homework on them. A lot of them haven't even acted since the first movie.
Oh wow.
So they did that first movie, and that was it, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So for them to come back together to do a full fucking movie, knowing they haven't acted since they were a little kid, I don't know. I don't know what you say about that, man. But if they came in and did a good job, I want to see it, man. I just want to see it. It's one of those things, like, for whatever that movie has meant to you, with all the memories that it holds or whatever. I really want to see this fucking Christmas Story too, man. As a grown man, I want to put my eyes on it, man, and check it out, man. See if it's really what I'm hoping it's going to be, man. And shit, I don't. I think I'll put my expectations on it, man. Just for the simple fact that it ain't. I can tell that it ain't trying to go woke. I think I'm on that alone. I'm not saying that since it's not woke, it ain't going to be good. But I don't have that side of things to worry about. I can just watch it straight the fuck up, man, and just see it for what it is. And I think that that says a lot more than what people will give it credit for, man.
Spoiler alert: no woke. That's my spoiler alert. No woke.
Yeah, so that's it, man. That's really what it is, man. That's just.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, man. So y'all check it out, man. If you guys get a chance, check it out, man. There's a lot of hopefully potentially good stuff that I'm seeing coming in the horizon, man. And hopefully this will be the first of many good things, man. People can start taking their IPs and their franchises and their properties seriously, and don't let wokeness fuck up things that they've taken decades to build up just so they can trash it in one bullshit movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man. Once people start getting back to respecting their own shit is when hopefully one day they might see us come back around, man. But until then, we just got to keep up the good fight, man. And it is what it is.
And more importantly, the welcome of a family film coming back too.
Yeah,
just as important.
Yep. So, well, we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up. We're at the 2-hour mark, almost, but yeah, we'll go ahead and call it a night. Vigilante, you got anything you want to tell them before we bounce?
Not really. I may do a stream in a little bit, just to do one like a game stream. I tried to do game stream on Sunday. I didn't do last Sunday. I may do one. Culture Crime Fires Monday. Vigilante Williamson show. We're doing Tuesdays and Thursdays.
All right.
Getting close to 100 episodes. 100 episodes of the show. So please check it out. Don't have anything planned for the 100th, but just happy to get to it. So please, because I used to do the show daily, then went on a hiatus, and then start back. Now I'm doing 2 a week, so Tuesdays and Thursdays. Check it out. The streams. So yeah, check out this stuff from this past week. We did a lot of good stuff. I had a guy. Shout out to Pat Truthner. We talked about fake sports. I'm not sure if anyone checked that out. About sports being rigged. It was a very interesting conversation.
Right. Pete Rose and shit.
Yeah, we were just talking about more than just Pete Rose. We even get into Pete Rose, actually. We just talk about everything.
Yeah.
How deep the rabbit hole goes with that. And so that was cool. And then Culture Crime Fires talked about a lot of stuff. Black Panther, Dave Chappelle, a lot of stuff. So please check that episode out Monday. I feel like it was one of the better episodes. I meant to do a lot of clips. I may still do it. That's something I'm bad at, clipping out my content. But please check it out because I think we do a lot. It's now that I'm kind of getting back in the swing of doing regular content. It feels like it's a lot of good stuff. So I'm not just saying that because I'm making it. Obviously, I'm not just saying that for like subs and stuff. I'm saying it genuinely. It's a lot of interesting conversations as we kind of like, I talk about a lot of the same old as far as entertainment goes on this show, but I don't really talk about it as much on my own show unless it's like pertinent to some of the cultural stuff. So
right.
Sorry to ramble, but I'm like, I'm actually talk.
We're used to it, man. We're used to it.
Because usually I just say, just watch shows. That's it. Like, no, seriously, it's good. It's good stuff. And shout out to the old man. He says he doesn't have HBO. You should have put it in the theater, which we all agreed.
Yeah, this
definitely should have been put in the theater. But Zaslav's cheap, so he didn't put it in the theater.
Right.
Good and bad. You gotta take the good with the bad. He's a cheap bastard. That's
it might have been a thing to where it was a deal before he even came into power, and the deal was to be on HBO Max because that's what they were trying to do with shit. Under the COVID deal, they were trying to put everything to streaming, and it might have been one of the ones that got sucked into that bullshit.
Absolutely, could have.
So then it's so far along, and it's either hey, you keep it on HBO Max, or we don't fucking put it out at all. Like what you want to do?
Yeah, basically.
So, they're like, fuck it, man. We'll keep our HBO Max deal and let the world see it for what it is.
Yeah.
So yeah, man. So shit. Well, shit. But yeah, man. What you got going on, Baron?
Not much. Just going to hang around, well, of course, with you guys. It's going to be kind of an abbreviated week here with Thanksgiving. So I'll just be hitting here and there with a few of the other streamers and try to get through the most important day. As God is my witness, I thought turkey could fly. Thanksgiving! Woohoo! One of my favorite holidays. Look at that bird, I tell ya.
Some shit. Yeah.
Like the nibble on those legs, I tell you what. Oh.
I hear you, man. Well, I'll be working on some stuff, man. I got a video to edit and some things to talk about this week. Wednesday, I'll be doing a stream, man. And yeah, I'll be doing a birthday stream. So I'll be.
Oh, happy birthday
to the old man.
Yeah. I'll be doing a little something on Wednesday for about an hour or two, man. Show my face, man, and just kick it, man. So
yeah.
Other than that,
he's going to be the old man for the next generation of A Christmas Story.
Yeah, man. I'll definitely will be streaming on Wednesday for a little bit, man. It'll be a pop-up stream. Nothing planned for no particular time. I'll just set it up for however I feel like. Press the button and go, man. So other than that, man, just trying to enjoy the week. Before I go, speaking of birthdays, want to give a shout out to Rough Girl. Her birthday was on the 16th this Wednesday.
Shit.
Happy birthday.
I haven't seen Rough Girl a little bit. Oh, she's good.
Yeah, man. So we love you, Rough Girl. Hopefully you've had a good birthday. Man. She's been awesome and shit. Hopefully, she's been enjoying it. So yeah. Other than that, I'll be trying to enjoy my shit this Wednesday, and and shit, I'll be doing a live stream. So hopefully, you guys swing by and show y'all faces and shit, and it'll be good, man. So I don't know if it'll be afternoon or evening, but I definitely will give it a spin, man, for a little bit.
All right,
so,
fantastic.
You know it, man. So shit. Other than that, everything's good, man. Hopefully everybody's doing well out there. Just want to tell everybody, man, we love y'all. We thank y'all, and hopefully you guys enjoy the rest of your weekends, and hopefully you guys have a good week next week with Thanksgiving and everything coming upon us. So with that, shit, we with the Primetime Kings live stream. This is Vigilante Williamson, Baron Norman Tag. It's your boy 24/7 Fusion Media, and we out. Peace.
Peace.
Yeah.